Welcome back, Locked On Bulldogs. What if I was to tell you that Kirby Smart is so good at recruiting that he's getting young men to change their professional outlook and jobs? That's literally what's happening. We're going to talk about recruits coming to UGA that are changing the course of their lives for Kirby Smart next on Locked On Bulldogs.
You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Locked On Bulldogs podcast. He is Clint. I am Daniel. Happy Wednesday to you. Today's episode brought to you by FanDuel, FanDuel.com, number one sports book of the Locked On Bulldogs podcast. And we will talk more about them in a moment. Clint mentioned it in the open. You got men out here who are quitting their actual jobs in order to just be a part of something going on over there in Athens. We're talking about a young offensive tackle, Jazir Jackson, who is he's on his way to Georgia, Clint, sooner than some might have expected.
Real quick.
We're recruiting now for the 2025. Occasionally you'll get a 2026 recruit thrown in there. 2024 recruits are already on campus. They've been there for quite some time. But Jazir Jackson just said, hey, don't start the party without me because I'm coming over. Big offensive tackle prospect. We're going to talk about him. We're going to talk about his upside, which is literally his upside. And we're talking about the unique situation that he comes out of and that he finds himself in at Georgia. But Clint, maybe we just start here for the people.
Okay.
It's good to be affiliated with and a fan of a school. By the way, we are fans. If you're not a fan of Georgia, we welcome you. We know that you're here.
We do.
We're fans of Georgia.
100%.
And our team is likely better than your team. And that's just,
fact.
Our team has won championships since the last time your team did. And so we're fans of that team and we talk like that. That's what this podcast is about. So we are unabashed homers.
Okay, we know who we
University of Georgia. We know who we are. Do you know who you are?
That's
also, yeah, I'm going to get to that in the third segment. That's for the $1.99. We're going to save that. Put that
in
in the pocket. I put that in the pocket, Clint. That's a filter. That's what we call that.
First time I've ever seen him use that.
It's good to be a fan of the University of Georgia. We're on here not once a week, but twice a week. This week, 3 times. We're going to be on here talking about brand new recruits committing to the G, coming to the University of Georgia. It tells me 2 things. 1, the future of the program is bright. And 2, Kirby loves us. He's trying to help us create content. He knows it's the off season. He knows that content is few and far between. And so he's just throwing us a bone. And so I appreciate both those things. Kirby Smart, the GOAT in so many ways.
He's the GOAT. Look, guys, he's recruiting on football players. He goes and gets 3 stars, makes them first-round talent. He takes 5 stars and develops them into top-tier, top 10 picks. He takes the winners, makes them exceptional winners. He takes those who could be winners and puts them on teams and in positions. This guy is incredible. I just want look at this man. Okay, just 6'10", 340.
Yeah, we're talking about Jazir Jackson now.
Jazir Jackson, the recruit that is reclassifying 2024, is going to be on campus.
Say the numbers again, Clint, because I'm not sure people fully process that you were talking about a man's height and weight here.
Jazir Jackson, height is 6'10", weight is 340. Now, you might be saying to yourself, oh, man.
Good Lord in heaven is what you're saying to yourself right now.
First of all, Andre the Giant got nothing on this guy. Okay,
no, literally nothing. Amarius Mims got nothing on this guy. Amarius Mims, who is the biggest person I've ever seen in person, got nothing on this guy.
Absolutely
nothing.
Okay.
The dog walk is a must this year, Clint.
Changes everything.
Just so you can lay eyes on this kid.
Yeah, 100%. When CJ Allen, when Michael Williams, some of our standouts on defense, who we anticipate being able to bully other men on the playing field, walk next to this man. We're going to be thinking to ourselves, oh no, they're screwed, because look at what we have over playing tackle. Now, Jazeer is not going to be playing tackle for some time.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
But Kirby is literally out here. He is getting bored at recruiting now. He is trying to challenge himself. And so this was a conversation that probably happened after hours. Everybody had gone home. He's up in the analyst room with old specs. Takes him off, puts him down below. Okay, and he says, "Coach, I bet you can't. I bet you a C note. You can't get a basketball player to come here. I'll take that bet. How about I just go get somebody that is athletically inclined all the way through, bigger than you've ever seen, can run up and down the court, was professional, semi-professional in basketball. I'll sell him on getting developed by us. Say I won't." And he did just that.
And he did it. Jazeer Jackson brings a lot to the program. We're going to talk about what he is going to be, what he's not going to be, what you should expect out of him, what you shouldn't expect out of him. We're going to get to all those things and more. But first, I want to let you know about these.
FanDuel is fantastic because I love sports. I love them so much. I never want them to stop. That's a true story. But playoffs wind down. We get fewer games, and sports aren't even sportsing like I want them to be. But FanDuel is keeping all the sports going wherever I want, whenever I want. All I have to do is open up the app and dream up bets, whatever I'm in the mood for. And trust me, I can dream up some bets.
You don't think I'm going to lay a coin or two on the Young American and Wimbledon right now in the quarters? Yes, you don't think I'm going to do that? Old Fritz? By the time you're listening to this, that match will probably already be over because it's happening on Wednesday morning at about 9:30. But I'll be out there on FanDuel. I'll get out there. And
this summer, FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a bonus bet or boost daily. That's right. There's something for everybody every day, all summer long. Head over to FanDuel.com. Start making the most out of your summer. FanDuel, official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. Seinfeld references, Wimbledon references, French Open. I mean, no one knows what we're talking about.
No one is safe. No one is safe here on the Locked On Bulldogs podcast. All right, you mentioned it before, but let's break this down. Jazeer Jackson, obviously, the numbers that jump out to you are 6'10" and 340. Largest player on the team, and that's by a wide berth. 7'4" wingspan, which I'm not sure if you know this. When you play tackle, is wingspan an important trait? Long arms, is that something they measure at the NFL Combine? Is that something that's important to tackles to be able to have those long and strong arms? Is that?
Yes, sir.
Now you want that. You want that reach block. That's what they call that, is a reach. And this guy, listen, it's only holding if you get called. And I'm just telling you this right now. That man goes wide and you ain't getting by him. You're not going to do it. But it's how he moves that frame that really matters, because tackles don't just need to be big like Amarius Mims. They need to be athletic like Amarius Mims, athletic like Broderick Jones, athletic like some of the great tackles, Andrew Thomas, that we've seen come through the University of Georgia. And I'm not saying that this young man is going to be in the realm and the echelon of those 3 first-round elite tackles that we've seen come through Georgia. But I am telling you that he doesn't move 6'10", 340 the way that you would imagine somebody moves 6'10", 340. Clint mentioned it. This kid is a former professional basketball player. A professional, as in he's living your dream.
There it is.
He's getting paid to play a game. Like, you're in the driveway, 6 years old,
Yeah.
shooting hoops. This kid is living that dream. And so to be a basketball player, and obviously he's playing down in the post, he's playing the 4, he's playing the 5 at that kind of size. You got to be able to move up and down that court. And you see this transition a lot from basketball to high level football. Obviously, the most famous example is Tony Gonzalez, who was an elite basketball player and became one of the great NFL football players of all time. We've seen it, more recently. Kid for Wichita State, I can't remember his name, Mo something.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think,
yeah.
He goes on, gets drafted as a tight end in the NFL. Darren Waller was a great basketball player, another tight end in the NFL. We've not seen somebody of this size.
This is different.
Who's trying to make this transition over into football. He has the athleticism, but so that is very interesting to me. Now, obviously, he's a very raw talent, and so we're not going to see this kid on the field for quite some time. He's going to need to be developed. He needs the reps. He needs the tutelage. He needs to be coached up. He needs to go through these drills. And to be quite honest with you, making this transition so late in the he missed all of spring practice. This is a kid that really needed spring. Not for this year. He was never going to play this year. But I'm saying next year, you're not going to see this kid play because he missed this year's spring practice. Like, he needs reps and reps and reps. And so you're not going to see him on the field for quite some time. But the upside, Clint, is it's through the roof. And this is a literal no-lose scenario for Kirby Smart and this coaching staff, because they go out, they have another scholarship to play with. And with, this late in the game, there's nobody coming through the transfer portal. You don't need that scholarship. They have a scholarship to play with. They find this kid available. They make this offer to him. And he says yes. He comes over to Georgia. It's a no-lose scenario, because all that can happen is this kid hangs around in the program, competes in practice, and never sees the field for the University of Georgia. Or he develops into an unstoppable force at offensive tackle. And that's really, it's not likely that happens.
Sure.
But it's in the realm of possibility when you look at that frame.
Here's the spectrum. Okay?
Yeah.
The spectrum is he never plays a snap at UGA.
That's worst case scenario.
Okay. We can not name players that have done that at UGA, who have been on the team for 4 or 5 years, gotten a degree, gone and done their thing, enjoyed it, been part of the practice, yada yada. Okay, great. They're part of the team. He never plays that. Okay, fantastic. The upside is he turns into a corner, absolute statue of a cornerstone piece for an offensive line in a couple of years, for any number of quarterback to come through and this Georgia offense to continue. You name some guys basketball. What about Antonio Gates? What about Martellus Bennett? What about Julius Thomas? Julius Peppers? These guys all played Connor
high
Barwin.
level basketball.
That's what I'm saying. This is not something to be just written off. Don't do this, Georgia fan, where you're like, maybe. I don't know. If he hits, he's not just going to hit a little bit. Okay.
That's the thing. This is a true lottery ticket.
If you win the lotto, you don't win 25% of the lotto.
Yeah.
You win the lotto.
Yeah.
This kid hits, his ticket comes up, his numbers get called. And y'all,
hello. Just a little 3-star. Just a little old 3-star.
Wait, no, well, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Kirby's often mistaken when he gets 3 stars into the program.
Well, probably Kirby really struggled whether or not he should offer him since he had those 3 stars. Kirby probably knew about how many stars he had when he offered him the scholarship. That's probably something he consulted.
I don't know. Hold on. Let me call up.
He probably asked 24/7's permission if he
Correct.
could offer him a scholarship. Like, that's probably what he did.
Should? I think I should offer him.
Think I should do it, guys? I don't know.
What does your intuitive nature tell me? Now, before I ask you that, how many national championships you got? Oh, the none. Okay.
How many college job offers do you have?
The none.
So also none. Let's go to segment 3. Let's go to the 199 and let's talk about Kirby's just recruiting prowess and like what this guy is out here doing on the recruiting trail. All of that right after this.
Unfilter yourself. The 199er here.
If you're making a comment about my hair, just type "I'm bald" in the comment section and make it easier on everybody. Because it's very clear that's what you're saying, but just it'll be less characters for you. You know what I'm saying? Like if that's my only advice to you. Just it's 6 letters and an apostrophe. Just write I'm bald, and then you don't have to. We all get it. Like we all understand.
We are already off the rails for the 199, and they're here for it. Daniel, I'm telling you,
they love the banter.
They heard you start that, and they go, "This is why I made it to this point." Loyal third segment.
I stuck around to the loyal third segment.
Daniel, let's talk about Kirby's prowess as a recruiter, and just how do we frame this in understandable language for people? What he's able to be doing.
Okay, imagine you had your dream job.
Okay.
And then somebody else came and said, I'll offer you a different job where, remember all the work you've put in at this job and how you've worked your way up in the company and how you've advanced and how you finally reached the level, maybe not like the level that you hope to end your career at, but you've reached a level that you could be really proud of for your age.
Sure.
At the company. I'll let you come and work for my company, and you'll start at the bottom, and no one will. All I'm going to ask you to do is work really hard, and you'll get no recognition, and it'll be really hard, and you'll maybe fail at it.
Okay.
How many of y'all taking that? How many of y'all taking that job offer? You're working your dream job. You're getting paid to play basketball. And Kirby Smart comes along and says, I got a little thing going on over here in Athens town. If you want to come, basically, and it's not a true start. Like this kid's played football before, but not high level.
Not in years.
Basically start your football career because I think I can make you into something great on the football field. Kirby Smart carries a level of clout among these kids that I don't think even Georgia fans could fully respect.
You don't get it. What it takes. Again, let's think of all the things going against Kirby. Okay. Culture is against Kirby.
He has a bowl cut. I mean, I haven't heard that in a while, but while we're talking about hair, Kirby Smart has a bowl cut. Florida fans have been saying it for years.
They have been saying it for years.
Yeah.
Okay. Culture is against Kirby. Kirby is not. Think of another guy that thinks that he's with the culture and look at the on-field production.
Okay, USC. I'm thinking about USC. Is that what I should be doing?
I'm thinking of Lincoln Riley and Deion Sanders. Okay. Great. You vibe with them. They want you to come to your parties.
But I hear that the off-season conditioning at Colorado this year is really... I gave him my best shot.
Deion Sanders has one thing going for him in life. He was born...
He's really good at playing corner.
He was born with a body that naturally was able to shadow other receivers and score touchdowns and interceptions. Other than that, there's no skills attributable to him. That's it. Ask anybody who's played with him or coached him. He does not take coaching. He does not take reps seriously. He's
a fairly good self-promoter. I'll say that. I will give him that.
That's
He's kind of the Don King of Deion Sanders. You know what I'm saying?
That's a real small niche you got going on there. That's it. Okay. He's got culture going against him. He's got NIL and money galore, business capitalism going against him. Semi-pro basketball player can go ahead and get coin if he wants to from different places, and he's going up. And you're telling me the G League, you're telling me development league, you're telling me an NBA team who just paid somebody based upon their last name millions of dollars isn't going to give this kid millions of dollars to come 6'10", 340 and runs up and down the court. Again, you can't teach size. Okay. Yeah. All right. He's got culture. He's got finances. He's got to have to sell football on a kid. Football's a grueling thing in the SEC, dog days of summer, to grind like that. And then you have to sell him to be coached by Kirby. And if you know anything about Kirby, he's not a pleasant man to be coached by, which is what the best coaches are, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay. He's not going to make life very easy on you because he wants the best out of you. And he's able to say all of that in such a way that gets him.
Kids like,
yeah, okay. All right. I'll start at the bottom and grind my way on a stacked roster. I could get this.
You couldn't have picked a worse roster in the country to come to. I'm just being totally honest. You couldn't have picked a worse roster.
He goes to Tulane, Tulsa, UCF.
He's out there.
He's playing.
He's out there learning on the job. He didn't want to learn on the job, Clint.
He wants
to be great. I'm just saying he may be great and he may not be great.
We don't know.
These are the kinds of kids you want. And 6'10", 340 kids are the kinds of kids you want. Like, I don't even know what
are we doing?
What are we doing in life?
If I was 6'10", 340, come on, y'all. Do you really think you're going to go down to Athens in that heat?
You'd have an easier time carrying me out of that stadium Labor Day weekend if you were 6'10", 340. I promise you that. I promise you that.
We were up in the y'all, we did not get 200 level seats.
It was not a nice stadium either. Like, we're just talking about the dirtiest, nastiest. This year will be different, though. This year will be different.
Sure.
We'll make different choices.
Some of us will.
No,
I'll leave your butt there.
Will they?
No, we won't.
No, none of us will. That's for sure.
We are who we are.
Yeah, that's
Except
true.
us.
Or don't. Whatever. This has been the Locked On Bulldogs podcast. He is Clint. I am Daniel. You are the 199, and we appreciate you dearly. If you haven't subscribed to the show on audio or on video, go ahead and do that. Get ready for the season with us. We got lots more to talk about, and we'll be back later this week with more on the Locked On Bulldogs podcast. We'll see you guys then.
See ya.